Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
It rocked an entire neighborhood. Tonight we're getting a look at new video of a house explosion that left the man living inside severely burned. And that tops our news tonight at 11. Thanks for being with us. I'm Kimberly Gill.
I'm Devin Skillia. Jacqueline Francis talked with the neighbors whose security camera captured that video, and she's live in Inkster right now with more. Jacqueline.
Devin and Kimberly, all that's left is a pile of dirt. That lot behind me, virtually empty now, where a home stood just 1 week ago. The camera on the neighbor's garage captured the explosion, showing the magnitude of what happened. It's exactly how people described it. If you slow down the video, you can see this Inkster home was blown off its foundation. Neighbors, whose Ring camera captured the explosion, are still recovering from the shock of it all.
I heard something say, boom!
Mary and Milton Irvin were home when it happened.
You don't have to experience it. Yeah, and I could feel the heat through the kitchen.
They were evacuated right away.
There was nothing but smoke and fire. The police was beating on the door and saying, you got to get out right now, right now. And I had to walk down the street with no shoes on. And we had on pajamas.
The Penn Street home exploded last Tuesday. The homeowner was inside, taken to the hospital, badly burned by the flames. In the video, you can see this DTE truck out front. The company confirmed their crews were doing routine construction in the area when the house blew. One of the workers was also hurt. The neighbors say the DTE crews had been doing work at their home days earlier. It was traumatic.
Yes, it was. Very traumatic. I never heard nothing like it myself.
You know, we don't hear nothing like that again either.
Again, the homeowner was severely injured and taken to the hospital. We've yet to get an update on their condition. The cause of the explosion is still under investigation. Live in Inkster, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Goodness gracious. All right, Jacqueline.
Wershey, known as White Boy Rick for decades to Metro Detroiters, is being accused of robbery and assault in Miami. A girlfriend making these claims to the Miami police claims Wershey is denying. Mar McDonald, live downtown. Mar, he's already been arraigned on these charges.
That's right, Kimberly. One of them is a felony. The other is a misdemeanor in what the Miami Police Department is calling a domestic situation. And tonight we've got details like diamond bracelets. Let me show you. The Miami police say the woman making these accusations has been Wershey's girlfriend for about 4 months. She reported the alleged assault yesterday, although she says it happened on Saturday. She told police she was worried her immigration status would be an issue. She says they were having sex when he called her by the wrong name. She was irritated. She got up to leave. She says he grabbed her and ripped the diamond bracelet and diamond necklace he'd given her from her hand. As she moved away, she says he went after her. She threw a shoe at him, and then he punched her. Police say there is a third-party witness who is backing her up. Wershey, for his part, is denying the whole thing, according to a spokesman. Back here live, since his release from prison, Wershey has made a name for himself in the cannabis industry. He has his own brand. We're live downtown tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Okay, Mara, thank you.
Former President Donald Trump answering questions Wednesday from New Hampshire voters in a CNN town hall in a critical early primary state. It comes one day after the president suffered a major legal defeat. Former president and current GOP frontrunner Donald Trump answering questions directly from New Hampshire Republicans and uncommitted voters.
Will you suspend polarizing talk of election fraud during your run for president?
I hope we're going to have very honest elections. We should have voter ID. We should have one-day elections. We should have paper ballots instead of these mail-in votes.
The former president still refusing to acknowledge his loss in the 2020 election.
Will you pardon the January 6 rioters who were convicted of federal offenses?
I am inclined to pardon many of them.
The CNN town hall comes one day after a Manhattan federal jury found Trump liable for sexually abusing and defaming former advice columnist E. Jean Carroll.
I never met this woman. I never saw this woman. This is a fake story, made up story.
It's one in a long list of legal battles he is fighting. Trump pleaded not guilty last month to 34 felony criminal charges of falsifying business records in Manhattan. He could also face additional charges in Washington and Georgia on separate cases.
In Washington, D.C., you cannot get a fair trial. You cannot. Just like in New York City, you can't get a fair trial either.
Sources inside the former president's campaign hope the town hall provides Trump a chance to appeal to voters beyond his intensely devoted base.
If elected president again, what is the first thing you would do to help bring down the cost to make things more affordable?
Drill, baby, drill. You know about that. We have to save this country. Our country is dying. Our country is being destroyed by stupid people.
One more question.
Tonight's appearance on the network, a rare one for the former president, his first since 2016. An autopsy reveals new information into how a local neurosurgeon was killed.
The Detroit News reports Dr. Devon Hoover was shot twice in the back of his head. The autopsy says he was dragged face down in a comforter and placed into a crawl space in the attic. Hoover was found dead in his home in the Boston Edison Historic District last month. Police have a person of interest in the case, but no one in custody.
Man charged in a triple shooting that left a man dead at a Detroit gas station. Facing a judge today, Samuel McCrae is accused of murdering one man and shooting two others at the Mobile on West McNichols near the Lodge over the weekend. Prosecutors say he tried to pay his $4 bill with a card that was declined. Prosecutors say the clerk locked the door so he couldn't leave. That's when McCrae threatened to shoot the other customers if he wasn't allowed out. One of the victims talked to us, did not want to be identified, but told us what happened next.
Man, we don't got nothing to do with this. Unlock the door. And the dude say, if you don't unlock the door, I'm going to shoot everybody in here. I turn around and look at him and say, please, man, don't shoot us. We don't got nothing to do with this. I turned around and looked at him. He had the gun in the back of my head, and I put my hand up, and he shot my hand. And I ran from him. Then he grazed my side. And then when he shot me the third time, that's when I fell, and I had to play dead.
Had to play dead. The judge ordered McCrae held with no bond.
Two men facing charges tonight after trying to solicit sex online from someone they believed was 14 years old. Prosecutors say 30-year-old Keith Williams and 33-year-old Dominique Berry interacted online with a police officer pretending to be a teenager. An investigation revealed Williams worked as chief financial officer for Jefferson Schools in Monroe. Both men were arrested and taken to the Monroe County Jail. Bond for both men set at $500,000.
A Local 4 News update now. Detroit police make an arrest after a man throws a chair through the window of a downtown bar. This happened early Sunday morning in front of Cafe de Mongo's on Griswold. You see the man ran away after throwing the chair, but he has been taken into custody. Earlier this week, Detroit police arrested a different man who entered the building after the front row. Or window, rather, was smashed. Crossings at the southern border are expected to surge tomorrow as the U.S. lifts a COVID-era policy blocking asylum seekers.
Right now, U.S. officials are urging migrants in Texas to turn themselves into immigration authorities. In El Paso, federal agents are approaching migrants and handing out flyers about legal path to citizenship. The Biden administration is planning to release migrants into the U.S. without court dates or the ability to track them. A plan to stop drivers from using or holding their cell phones passes the state Senate. It's an effort to crack down on distracted driving crashes and deaths across the state. Last week, the State House passed the bills. The Senate also passed an amendment that would allow the change to take effect June 30th. If signed by Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Michigan would become the 26th state in the nation to adopt a hands-free driving law.
Michigan Congressman Dan Kildee returned to the office today following a successful surgery to remove a small cancerous tumor on his tonsil.
The good news is it's gone, and I won't need any further treatment, just continued monitoring over the next several years. So the good news is that surgery was successful, and that's something I'm really grateful for, particularly grateful that we caught the cancer so early and I was able to have it taken out.
Congressman Kildee says it will take him a bit longer for him to get back to being 100%. He says he won't be working a full schedule just yet.